Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber has extended the validity of existing Zimbabwean exemption permits until next year. Zimbabweans living in South Africa under the special permits will be able to continue their stay legally until the 28th of November 2025. Schreiber says he's fulfilling the duty placed on him by the Gauteng High Court to consult affected ZEP holders. Today was supposed to be the final day for countless holders of the permit who are uncertain about their stay in South Africa. For reaction on this, I'm now joined by Ashraf Esop, who is a specialist immigration lawyer. Ashraf, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. Were you surprised by the decision? Did the decision come as a surprise to anybody?
Well, I'm sorry, the sound is not very clear.
Yeah. Well, I was asking whether anyone was surprised by the minister's decision.
I think a lot of people were holding their breath. But given the circumstances that the renewal had become almost impossible to achieve with the backlog at VFS and other problems, that the correct decision was made. But if you have a look at the government gazette, the minister himself had realized that the consultation process was not fully unbundled. And so when you look at the government gazette, he says very clearly that now that the Immigration Advisory Board is about to be established, their input and investigation is crucial to the problems attended with the ZEPs, and that he wanted to give them an opportunity to entertain any inputs. So I think the decision is welcome, if not a bit late.
Who didn't do what? In other words, why was the consultation process delayed or not done?
Well, I think only the minister can probably give an answer to that. But when I read the situation, it became impossible for that number of people to submit applications. I think they're talking about something like 78,000 applicants that would have qualified for filing of the exemptions or waivers. In fact, a few months ago, the minister himself published a waiver that would have enabled ZEP holders to simply go to VFS and present a further application to continue on their present permits and on whatever system they had in place. Let's say they were working, etc. That would have been accommodated. Remember that the sunset of this entire ZEP now has been moved to November of 2025.
Now, why is, every once in a while we come back to this very same issue. What lies at the heart of what is seemingly a problem? Because, I'm sure in a couple of years' time we'll be back at this, with this very same issue.
Yeah, I think the genesis of this started in 2009 when the asylum-seeking process was overwhelmed by the number of people from the surrounding countries. And then they said, look, we're not going to allow this to go on in the asylum route. We're going to create a special dispensation. It was going to be temporary for 4 years. But as time went on and circumstances didn't seem to change, well, then they gave an extension after an extension, and we found ourselves in the present position where the erstwhile minister had basically just given a cut-off date without following due process. As we know, that matter went to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court ruled that you cannot do a consultative process after you've taken a decision. The law, in fact, the Constitution, read together with its instrument that safeguards administrative justice, bound you to have a consultative process prior to taking off a decision. Now, remember here, it's not just the ZEP holders, it's their children, their spouses, and some of the children are in school. And as we know, the Constitution safeguards the interests of children. In fact, Section 28 says the best interest of the minor child is paramount. So I think there was a whole lot of factors that converged to giving this kind of decision, but also a whole lot of factors that need to be taken into account for the final sunset of this special dispensation.
Obviously, I mean, it's quite a relief to the people who would have had to go through the process and knowing fully well that it was going to be impossible for Home Affairs to actually clear the backlog of several months.
Undoubtedly, I think the backlog and its drama has been with us for a very, very long time. And it affects not just ZEP, but ordinary visa and other permit holders, including the other special dispensations like the Lesotho exemption permit. So we know that the dysfunctionality of the department is well known. But I think that the steps that they're taking now is to say that they're employing the services of technology. So it's going to be envisaged that applications and outcomes will be made online and the outcome will be communicated online as well.
Well, let me leave it there for today. Thank you very much for your time and insights. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.